Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, folks. I hope you're doing well. It is Sunday evening, and we've got a pretty cool keyboard to build today. It's pretty cool as this one. Captain Reed, thank you very much for being first, as usual. You did arrive first on stream today. Trojam is here as well, says hi everyone, and Gemma is here too. Jehovah in Bed says good evening all, and Gemma subscribed at tier 1 for 30 months. Gemma, how has it been 30 months? There is my pink rocket ship all lit up just for you. Trop D2 is here as well, so is Captain Mike and Frankie1001. Rue is here as well, and Hungry Hannah also subscribed at tier 1 for 25 months. As soon as the light goes out, we'll put it back on for you, Hannah. There you go. Thank you so much for lighting up that pink rocket ship for 25 months in a row. JQ UK is also here. He says first. I don't know if you know what the definition of first is, JQ, but it usually means that you are the earliest person to arrive. I don't think that was you today, but thank you very much for being here all the same. Thank you very much to Jellymaster for 56 months of subs, which is huge. Thank you so much for that, dude. And Firetech is here as well, says good evening, folks, as well. Trojan comes in also with a sub, which is just insane, for 62 months and says, now where has the time gone? So thank you very much, Trojan, for lighting up that rocket ship for 62 months, which is quite frankly insane. Like, how on earth have we even been streaming on this channel for 62 months? That's insane. I came first, woo. Definitely wasn't nodding off there. Gemma joined around the same time as Colin now. Yeah, it's a long time ago now. It feels like 30 months is a huge amount of time. Huge amount of time. All good things arrive at once. Is that how the saying goes? I thought it was good things come in small packages, right? Basil the Mighty is here as well, says hello. Mr. Collane's here too, also says hellos. And Basil the Mighty also says ooh. Yolkface, thank you so much for being here. They also say first, but they're not. JQ admits that he always comes early. I've heard that about you, dude. That is the word on the street about you. He could have been first after the stream arrived. After the stream started, maybe. I'm not sure. Reed cheated and said hi way early. He did. He said it. Can I see what time he said it? Yeah, 6:55 p.m. So over an hour before we went live. He did it. It's good to arrive together. Sure. Yeah. Hey, if you can manage that, then you know, I think that's winning. We certainly aren't small packages. No comment. You're calling me fast as Gemma. The UO is meant as reply to Reed's early arrival. Oh, okay, got you. I've been asleep at my desk since then with the dulcet tones of Alex in the background. Nice. What else would you use the word dulcet for? Apart from to say dulcet tones, what other place would you use the word dulcet? SPC chat is leaking? Yeah. You talk about your contribution to the world, not your mess. Showed 0 people when I logged in. I think it shows 0 people until we actually start streaming, like properly. So, yeah, it can change and it can be up and down. But yeah, SPC chat thinking. Well, if you're not part of the SPC and you want to be, you can subscribe on the button below, and then you will become part of the SPC, and you might understand a few more of these background jokes that are going on. Right. Okay. I've got a silly Discord accept quest thing that I'm just gonna hide because it's annoying me. It's popping up in the corner. Let's start off with some PT news. So it's the weekend, and Mel and I last caught up on Friday about where we're up to with a few things. Pretty much everything that can be shipped from the last shipment has now gone. Everything that we have currently in the workshop that's from our last shipment is either waiting for customers to pay, which they might have done over the weekend, pay for shipping. I think there was maybe 10 orders that needed people to pay for shipping costs over the weekend, and I think some of those have done. The rest we'll send a chase to on Monday. So if that's you, watch out for the shipping. The other items that are here are things like the Motif 65 keyboards, which we're still waiting for the keycap set, cables, artisans, other bits and pieces for as well. There is one last Kikul 1800 orders to go, but that's the only one that ordered an ISO POM plate, and I wasn't able to cut it on Friday because I was having more tattoo work done. So I will be doing that tomorrow. And then the only other thing that's here is the AK-75s. Now, we have shipped some of the AK-75s out. The ones that are remaining, and there's not many of them, but the ones that are remaining are waiting for the cool art key resin pieces. They have just landed at our forwarder in China, I think Thursday. So we need to figure out what's the best way to get them over here and then ship those orders out. But other than that, the whole shipment is now done and gone, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. There are some more extras to come this week. There is definitely extras of the ASCII F. I have had so many people ask me about this that I don't think doing it as a first come first serve in stock drop is going to be the fairest way, because there's not many units. There's like single figure units. So I think what we're going to do, and I've started to half create this, I haven't finished it yet, but I'm hoping to finish it on Monday and post it on Monday, is a raffle form where you can register interest for the SKF, and if you win the raffle, then you will get an invite to purchase one of the boards. But as I say, there's only single figures, so it's not a huge number, and I just think it's a much fairer way of doing it when there's so few, and clearly so many people want to get their hands on one. So that's the plan for that. Other than that, our next shipment is on its way in. It is currently scheduled to hit port on the 24th or 25th of August, which means that realistically, we're probably going to get it about a week after that. So it's going to be the 31st of August, 1st of September is what I'm currently expecting for it to arrive. I can't see it being any faster than that unless the Strait of Hormuz is open and smooth and easy to get through, which I don't think it is right now. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm keeping an eye on it. And now we're into August. How is it August already? Like, where has the year gone? It should be arriving towards the end of this month, and then we've got the whole process to do again. There's some other cool stuff happening over the next couple of weeks as well. So this week we've got Keyboards and Coffee on Thursday, and then at the weekend I'm away at a wedding. And then the following week, so a week on Monday, we have some work experience people coming in, which will be great fun. We get to teach them all about what a workspace is and isn't, and try and shape some young minds around what my take on running a business is. I'm not sure they'll learn anything useful, and I'm probably going to teach them all the wrong things, but it should be good fun. And then at the end of next week, So a week on Saturday, just under 2 weeks ago, two weeks yesterday, time, we're doing some SPC folks, lovely SPC folks, are going to come down and help me sort out my personal collection of keyboard stuff, because there's far too much. There's hundreds of keyboards, there's hundreds of keycap sets, there's piles and piles of just parts. So we're going to try and document everything, and then I can start to auction it off to try and A, get me some money to move house, and B, also to generate some money for charity. So that's the aim, and that's what we're going to try and get through. So a couple of busy weeks coming, but I'm really looking forward to that. I'll also get pizzas in for anyone who's coming on the day, and we'll have some drinks and play some games in the evening. I'm thinking of setting up 4-way Mario Kart on the N64 for in the evening, with some beers and some wine and some cocktails and some pizza, because I think that sounds really fun. So that's what we're going to try and do it. Let's catch up with chat. Mr. Kalane says, don't try and come before Reed. It's not a thing to aspire to. Poor Reed. It's only a matter of time until the mass of Olivetti arrive. Yeah, so Olivetti is still in production as far as I know. We did get confirmation on Friday that DCS Polch has finished production. And then DCS Mulch is due to go into group buy. It was supposed to start on Friday, but because I was out of the office on Friday, I just didn't get a chance to do it. And there's a couple of other things. We're going to be launching Hyperfuse tomorrow. I know it's towards the end of the group buy now. It took us a long time to get through some contract negotiations with the designer, to say the least, but we're there now, and we will be launching both Mulch and Hyperfuse on Monday. And then there's some other stuff that's happening as well. We've also got keyboard stands with the Keeps and Cables keyboard stands. They are coming to PT. I think we're going to do them as in stock rather than as pre-order. So watch out for those. I just felt like all the other vendors have sold out so quickly of these, and I expected them to go so fast. I'd rather have them in stock and just sell them in stock than sell them on a pre-order basis. So yeah, that's the plan for that. Did Reed ever get a coming first t-shirt? No, I need to arrange him one. I do need to arrange him one. Infiltration, hey man, good to see you. Excited for the Gundamhaku. Can't believe it's already Monday tomorrow. Yeah, I know. Mr. Klein says, what's in the next shipment? And Trop says, I think keyboard related products. Could be wrong. I think you might be right. I don't know if I have a list, actually. I might not have a list yet. Let me have a look on Notion. So Sharon does create as a list. Let me see if I have. I do have a list of what's in there. So there is the Geometric Fairy Tale keycaps, which are in pre-order right now. There's the Abandoned Pets Artisans in beige. They were to go with SWG beige, so they're ready now. There's MW Geisha, which is also in pre-order. There's the Mass 80 keyboards. There's quite a lot of those. There's Milky Way Endpoint, which is also in pre-order. There's the Monotype desk mats, which are also in pre-order right now. KKB Kintsugi Shiro is going to be here as well, which is also in pre-order too. There's the Smurf 80, which we will have a ton of extras for. Because I think there's 8 boards per box, and we've ordered 10 boxes, and we didn't sell anywhere near that number of boards. So there's those as well. There's the Vida from AKB James. There's TGR Jane rubber replacement boards, which I don't think that's what they are. I think they're actually TGR Janes, but they're the red alert ones. I think that's labelled wrong. I suspect Sharon's just not known on that. There are Child Play desk mats, which are some of the desk mats we've had ordered. SWG Oiler, which is in pre-order and it's almost here. There's the Ramuni 60. Lots of keyboards and kits and stuff for that. There's the Class 100. There's a stock drop of Busytown desk mats, including a new colorway. There is Cap Generation. There is PBS Crispin. There's the remaining boards for the Neo 75 and Neo 98 January run. There are the Torero switches, which are going to be for an in-stock drop. There's Artisans to go with GMK BKRE. The NV70 keyboards are in this one as well. Transit desk mats are in this. They're also in pre-order. Combo Breaker desk mats are in this, and that's also in for pre-order. And Combo Breaker's out for delivery with GMK tomorrow as well, so we should get that tomorrow. There is CRP R7. There's the QK65 Mark III pre-built boards. There is Substance desk mats. There are GMK Ishtar R2 desk mats, which are also in pre-order. You can order them right now. And then there's some new packing boxes. Rather than using a UK supplier, we're looking at some from a Chinese supplier, which might replace some of our packing boxes for significantly cheaper. But these are just samples. There's 100 of them. And then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 other boxes of stuff which have no notes whatsoever about them, which I assume is where Sharon got to when she was going through it. So there's another 14 different products or product ranges in there as well. So yes, there's quite a lot in the next shipment. It's going to be a busy couple of weeks when it arrives. So yeah, watch out for it. I hope that helps, Mr. Kalain. Newfie's here as well. Says, hello Jay, I hope your weekend has been good so far. It's been very good. Very quiet, but very good. V-Rugdush says, good evening, Jay and everyone. Hey man, good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. Infiltration says, I'm attending for cataloguing your boards. Can I buy on the day? I have a couple of boards in mind, which I'm sure you will have. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to catalogue everything first of all. And I kind of have like not specific roles for specific people, but kind of like roles for people to do to help the cataloguing go swiftly. So someone in charge of photography, someone in charge of collating information, someone in charge of boxing and packaging them up and labeling the boxes, that kind of stuff. So we can figure out what's where and where everything goes. As part of that, one of the things that I'll be doing is I'll be putting some pricing on there where there'll be an absolute minimum it can sell for. There'll be the price that I want to make for it, and then there'll be the price that anything above that price will then go to charity. So let's say there's a key set, the minimum I'll take for it is 80 quid. I want 100 quid, and anything above 100 quid goes to charity. Let's say you wanted that key set, you pay £150, £50 goes to charity. That's how we're going to do it. So we're going to generate cash for all of that kind of stuff, basically. So big list of stuff that's coming in as well. Thank you very, very much to Creo for lighting up the pink rocket ship for 9 months in a row. That's one PT baby for you. Congratulations. So yeah, that's kind of like the plan for infiltration. So if there's something that you want to pick up on the day, then we can talk about it. But if your offer doesn't meet like the expectation, then I'm just going to let it go to the raffle, because we might generate more money for charity that way. Because the idea is to make as much money for charity as possible, right? So that's the plan. Human Guy says, any idea when the next Neo 80 CU pre-orders are coming in? I have an extra PCB in that batch. You can find that out on our updates. I'll put the link into chat for you. That's our updates pages. If you need an update on any group buy, you can go around having a look at those. That's nice of you. What's nice of me, Jehovah? What have I done? I don't think I've done anything. Oh no, it's certainly not yet. V Rugdush says, is someone in charge of running around like a headless chicken and sowing chaos? Yes, that's me. That's always me. No, I'm going to try and let the process be as organic as possible, and I'm going to try and stay out of people's way. That's my plan for the day. I am going to be a voice of reason and a smoother over and a coffee boy, basically, all day making people drinks. That's the plan. GMK Arcade looks sweet. Yes, Clacky Keeves. That should be. I think that goes live tomorrow. I think. Let me have a check. GMK Arcade is really, really cool, though. I think it goes live tomorrow. Does it go live tomorrow? Group by start date 3rd of August. Yeah, tomorrow that goes live. 9 AM tomorrow. GMK Arcade will go live. But it is really, really cool. It's a super cool base set. Pretty sure you have my Grail GMK, but I don't think I can afford it. What's your Grail set, JQ? I'm not there, unfortunately. I wish you were, Mr. Kalane. I wish you were. But I understand that not everyone can make it. Using your personal collection to contribute to charity rather than the house move. Well, I mean, like, some of it will be going towards the house move. Like, as I say, I'm going to be setting a price point that I need to make. Let's say, I don't know, like, let's say I don't have a keyboard. So let's say it's a Trigon 60. Let's say I set 100 quid for that, and then anything above 100 quid will go to charity. So some of it will help me pay for the house move, but we need to raise money for charity as well. There is no way in this world that a vendor should be able to sell their personal collection and not benefit the community in some way or some community, and that's what we're going to do from Miller. So yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck with what? Just making coffee all day? I'll be fine. Like, I'm just going to let you guys take the wheel and steer and do all of that kind of stuff. Philly Fish is here as well. Says, hey everyone, thanks very much for being here. JQ says Penumbra. Do you know, I think I have the GMK version of that. I've also got the SA version, and I might have the DSA version. I have got some really rare stuff though in places. Just looking at your desk, and the aesthetic is lovely. Thanks, Captain Mike. I appreciate that. Cocktails, not coffee. I mean, that'll be in the evening. So after we've done all the good stuff, and I'll put up a rough itinerary for the day. But kind of like the idea is that, because I know a lot of people are staying over locally, we'll order a ton of pizzas in, and we'll play 4-player, N64 Mario Kart or something like that, and we'll have cocktails and beers and soft drinks and whatever else people want. So yeah. If you want a close look at the desk, it's here. It's a bit of a mess, to be honest, because I have a million things on my shelf up here, but I have a million things on my desk constantly, like from everything from artisans to SD cards to alcohol wipes for my glasses, knives, a tray just of junk. So yeah, lots of stuff. I even have the little 3D printed human from Project Hail Mary. I have loads of stuff. 3D printed spiders, because why not? I have a fossil on here that I found on the beach about 20 years ago when I was a kid. Maybe even longer. I think I was about 12 when I found this on the beach. So that's found that at a little place called Anderby Creek. And it's actually not the fossil, it's actually the inverse of the fossil, but it's still the coolest thing I've ever found. I have a £5 coin just tons of really random stuff. I have little SPC artisans, chopsticks, because who doesn't need chopsticks? Yeah, lots of stuff. Is the GMK November Fog set one of the sets you'll be selling? Yes, most likely. Most of the sets that are over there in the background will be for sale. Is that a mint bol? Yeah, it is a mint bol. Bring me analog 3D and wireless controllers for N64 gaming. So I have an analog pocket somewhere. It was here. Has it moved? I can't see it. I have like shelves under here, and like there's like 2 tiers. It was under there at some point. I don't know where it is right now, but I do have an analog pocket. But one of the things that I will be doing is, so I have an arcade cabinet that I built downstairs, and it uses a type of monitor called an Arcudia, which is like a modern 43-inch monitor, but it's designed to be used in arcade machines. And whilst it's HDMI in, I do have a little mod for the N64. Which is here. And what this is this is a HDMI mod that we'll be doing probably on stream on Thursday, where I'll be soldering this mod board into the N64 to make it HDMI out, so I can use it in the arcade cabinet on the Arcudia rather than on the old CRT. It's on a 32-inch Sony Trinitron CRT at the minute, but that's what we'll be doing. Hey Jay, hey Fix Boost, hey man, good to see you. So excited to see the Gundam. Yeah, I'll be opening it in a minute. But it's are they the clever Blue Ridge chopsticks? They are, yes. These ones from my orange Blue Ridge. But I think there's a few sets downstairs of chopsticks as well. Do you have any GMK Mutagen coming up in the near future? No, GMK Mutagen Group Buy ran about a year ago, and we went in stock about 6 months ago. There won't be a restock on Mutagen unless unless the designer Neflock does another run of it, as far as I'm aware. There's potentially that my personal set might be included in the sets that I sell, but we'll have to see. Filio Fish, thank you very much for being on a 40 stream streak. That's really, really cool. Should we have a look at the website and do some big shilling? Because I really probably should do this. There's some group buys that have technically closed that I want to just call out, because you can still order them. The Schema M60, it'll close tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock when Sharon gets into the workshop. So if you want to join the Schema, you can join it until these listings disappear, which will be tomorrow. The same goes for GMK Analog Dreams. If you've not ordered this yet and you want to order it, you can do. This listing will disappear tomorrow about 8 o'clock in the morning, so in about 12 hours time. I think the set Finer Things has got 5 days left on it if you want to join Finer Things. KKB Korean Night Delights has got 12 days left. This is a really underrated set. It's super cute, but I haven't seen many orders for it, I don't think. SWG Nerve has got a week left on it as well. I think everyone's going to end up buying that set at some point. MW Norse is now live as well. We've actually updated the Nordic UK kits for this, and it now contains full UK ISO for both the light and the dark base kits. So if you want to pick up MW Norse, you can now get UK ISO for it. We've also got PBS Black on Black, Tofu TKL R2. I think that's got another 2 weeks left. Yep. SWG Heartbreaker as well. If you like pink, this is ISO UK enabled pink set, and it's got this really cool UK ISO Love Heart 3 key as well, which is really cute, and I will be picking up a set of that for myself. If you like a bit of orange, we've got the Orange Mini Accent Pack, which is 11 quid, and it's GMK keycaps, you know, why not, as well as glass desk pads and the new Novel Keys M1 mouse. I'm pretty excited for this. This is quite cool. It's nice to see Novel Keys doing something outside of the keyboard space, and it's our first kind of real mouse that we've done in a group buy. So I know it's expensive, but it looks pretty good. So I'm hoping to get one of those in hand very soon. And then there's also the Sensi CL80 keyboard kit. There's a couple of different versions of this. If you're interested, You can pick 2 colors, black or olive. I think I'd pick the olive one, but I keep going backwards and forwards on this because it's a beautiful, beautiful board that represents those old Dolch packs really, really well. But there's only a few hours left on that, so if you want to join it, you do need to join it today. And MW Virtual launched on Friday. I haven't put up the ping for this on the Discord server yet, but this is also a really, really cool set. It does have a UV keycap as well, which is pretty cool. So that might be something you want to consider. And it's got a month left on it. So yeah. Lots and lots of stuff there. In terms of pre-orders, not much has been added to the pre-orders, but a lot of stuff's going to come off the pre-orders really, really soon. KKB Kintsugi Shiro is going to Combo Breaker. If you want to get Combo Breaker a little bit cheaper, if you order it now, it's going to be more expensive when it drops in stock tomorrow or Tuesday when we get the group buy orders out. So if you want to pick that up nice and cheap, you can do. And it also has UK ISO in the base kit. Look, there you go, you can see. Lots of other stuff as well that's available. So yeah, maybe you want to pick up some of that. I think Greg R2 is also on its way to us as well. So if you want to get that at a slight discount from the in-stock price, then maybe you want to pick that up as well. And then in stock range, we've actually dropped a load of stuff in stock recently. So we've dropped KKB Nichiren. This has actually got silvered keycaps. So the keycaps here have like a silver hue to them, which is really, really difficult to put across in renders. But they are kind of like a silvery metallic effect, which is pretty cool. And there's 2 types of base kit for that, Latin and Hiragana, and they both have UK ISO. Cat Retro Bytes is now in stock as well. There's international kits available for this. If you like old school Commodore 64 inspired stuff, this might be for you. There's tons of different kits and mod kits and numpad kits and all sorts of different stuff. Might be something you're interested in, as well as matching desk mats. And if you bought SWG Rainbow or Midnight Rainbow, these desk mats might match for you. This one's really cool. If you like Atari stuff and Commodore 64 stuff, you might like the sprites on that one, which is really fun. Chocolatier R2 dropped, and then a ton of different keyboards from QK80s, Neo Ergos, Neo 75s, Neo 65s, Neo 60s, Neo 60 cores, Granite, Mutagen desk mats, Gurikawa desk mats, which is what I have on my desk right now, Mixlan desk mats, Kaiju desk mats, the QK Alice Duo, the QK 101, Ada, Cherry Love desk mats, PBT Fans Absolute keycap and desk mats, SWG Rubber, PBT Fans Budgerigar, Cap Santa Lum, DCS Superwell, Tiger R2. This is all stuff that's gone live in the past few weeks, so that might be some stuff that you want to have a look at. And then finally, just one last thing. I was talking with some other vendors recently about the pricing for Switches, and I have made a decision. And the decision I have made is that I don't ever think a Switch should cost more than 20 pence a Switch. So I've changed, I don't know if anyone's noticed it yet, I did this a few days ago, but I've changed the pricing for all of our in-stock Switches, every single Switch we have in stock, to basically be £1.99 for 10 Switches. So that meant that every single Switch we had in stock has now dropped in price. It varies depending on which Switch it is, how much it's dropped. So for example, the Big Lucky Linear Switches have dropped by 49%, and Pantheon Keys PT Blacks have only dropped by 34%. But you know, I decided that every single Switch for a pack of 10, I thought $1.99 was a much fairer price, even if that means I'm selling them at a loss. Oh, Snowfall, I've missed the Snowfall ones, but almost every Switch is now at that price point, so they're all dropped down in price to just £1.99 for a pack of 10, because I just feel like having Switches priced more than that is just really unfair to the community. I know that it cost us more than that to produce. If there's any Switches that I've missed, I'm looking through the list now, and I think there is some that I've missed. I'll be catching up to those on Monday. It might not be the same for Switches going forward, like new Switches in the future might not get added to this price range, but you know, every Switch that we've got in right now, I've just made the decision they're all going to be $1.99, and we're just going to try and keep them as cheap as possible, because no one should be paying £4 for 10 Switches. I don't think it's just obscene and it's too much money. So even if we're selling them at a loss, we're going to start putting Switches at $1.99 every time we can afford to do it, and I've done that for almost everything we have in stock. And if I've missed some of the ones that are in stock, I'll catch up with those on Monday and put them to $1.99 as well. So yeah, maybe you want to take a look at those. I think that's it. Yeah, so let's catch up with chat and see what you guys were talking about. Jay, if I pop you an email, would it be okay to change the layout of the schemas I ordered? As long as I get the email before we close the group buy, yes, we will honor it. Even if it takes me a couple of days to update it, we'll honor it. Which is pink is the J pink at Heartbreaker. Let's have a look. So on Heartbreaker, which pink is my pink? Oh, it's a group buy. Which pink do I like the best? I think I like this pink here where it changes for the YU IOP. I think it's that pink that I like the nicest. This is a bit too babyish, this is a bit too bright, and this is a bit brighter still. I think I like that pink the most, if that's what you're asking. Which is the same pink used up here and here and here. But I like all of them. I like pink is my favorite color by far. I'm even wearing, this is really hard to show you, but I'm even wearing pink shorts today. So yeah, I like pink. What can I say? And that's only got a day left on it, so you might want to join that sooner rather than later. Right, okay. Where did we get to into chat? CL80 is awesome, and the Alps compatibility is so cool. It is, yeah, and we've got a really cool Alps set coming up very soon as well, which I'm excited for. Does the CL80 come with keycaps? No, it does not. There's so much nice stuff as of late. Yeah, I try and make sure we bring loads of nice stuff constantly. Like I want as one product rolls out, I want to have another product ready to roll in, so we have like a constant cycle of stuff. That's business 101, right? But in terms of like the quality, we say no to so much stuff now. Because there is just so much on the market, and I like to think we have this really curated collection of just good stuff, and we don't run anything that is not good.
Tasty, tasty.
Just BMT, thank you so much for lighting up the pink rocket ship. That is very tasty. Thank you so much. Combo Breaker set of 2026. Yeah. It's not arrived at the workshop just yet, Jehovah, but it should be arriving tomorrow. I think when I checked the tracking on Friday, it said delivery was going to be tomorrow. So if it arrives tomorrow, we'll get all the sets shipped out. If it arrives Tuesday, we'll get all the sets shipped out on Tuesday, and then we'll get the extras in. Do you allow the pre-order to sell out all of the kits you bought, or do you hold some back for in-stock? We tend to hold back for in-stock, but it can vary. Sometimes there's only like there's been certain times where we've only ordered like 2 or 3 extra of a kit because we sold 0 in the group buy. So let's say, I don't know, I'm gonna pick a 40s kit, I don't know, like just out of my head. Let's say we sold no 40s kits at group buy, we might order 2 or 3 or maybe 5 or just some, so we've got some, and we'll probably put all of those into pre-order because it didn't sell very well at group buy, so they might sell out through the pre-order. But it's rare that we don't have 1 or 2 of the extra kits at the very least. Like we try not to put everything in, mainly because one, we need to do some QC and make sure everything's okay, and we've got to have spares for QC. Even though we might get them replaced by the manufacturer and sell it later on as a set, we need to have sets to pull things from if things are missing for customers or broken or damaged or whatever else. So yeah, the simple answer to your question is there is usually extras for in stock later, even if it says sold out at pre-order, but that's not always the case. Usually it's the case, but it's not always the case. Too many nice things, not enough pennies to have them all. I know that feeling. Is the price drop of the Switches going to be a permanent thing? I think for the Switches we have in stock, yes. I actually did like a big spreadsheet on this. I'm not going to share it with you because it's really geeky and nerdy, but it basically means that something like 80% of the Switches we have in stock right now, we're selling at a loss. But I just think that like Switches shouldn't be expensive anymore, and I look at the cost price that we pay, and it's like I don't understand why the manufacturers are charging the prices they're charging when, like, I think some Switches are great and are already priced really well. Don't get me wrong. I think, you know, some Switches at like 26-30 pence a Switch, they can be really good at that price. But I was looking at the stuff we have in stock, and it's like, I think 19-20 pence. That's where we should be per Switch. So I think the Torero Switches, which are coming and going to be in stock very soon, I think they're going to be a little bit more. I think they're going to be around 29-30 pence, something like that. I need to double check on that one. And some Switches we will have contractual requirements to sell them for certain prices. Some Switches we can't sell any cheaper. So that certainly is the case for a lot of Topra stuff. There is set contractual pricing for that kind of stuff. And we even get into trouble when we do ad hoc sales, like for everything in stock's got 10% off or whatever. We get into trouble with that. So The answer is broadly yes, Jehovah. We will try and keep the pricing for where we can, unless there's a contractual reason why we can't. So yeah. Very nice of you on the Switch pricing. I think you'll be hearing from your accountant again. Do you know, I have like a WhatsApp group with my accountant. Sometimes I might take screenshots of that and start posting them on social media because they are quite funny. I genuinely think he thinks I'm an absolute idiot. And I genuinely think he hates my guts sometimes because I just make his life so difficult, and I do things that he clearly doesn't rate. And I don't think he rates me as a businessman, which is fine. Shorts or hot pants? They're shorts. They're just shorts, guys. They're only hot pants if they go up your ass crack. They don't go up my ass crack. So yeah. Will PT6080 be getting more stock? The PT80's been in stock for years. The PT80 has always been in stock. It's never sold out. They are £30, including VAT, and they've been in stock of the PT80s with JST and Solid Daughterboard for 3 years now. So yeah, the PT80 will continue to stay in stock. Tons of compatibility, solid PCBs, and they're 30 quid each. We've also got the Mohit PCBs to drop in stock, which will be a little bit more expensive than these with VAT, I think. I think they're going to be £35, but basically the same thing. So yeah. In terms of the PT60, probably not. It didn't sell very well when we first put it in stock, and we had way fewer of the PT6s than we did the PT80s. And the PT80s don't sell very well either. I mean, you can tell how long ago it is because these photographs were taken when I had my Subaru, and I've not had that for 3.5 years. So that's how long it is since we dropped these in stock. So yeah, so probably not. Just sent you an email about my schema order. Thank you very much, Jay. I'll take a look at that tomorrow, Jehovah. But yeah. Unlubed cherry switches have traditionally been a bit expensive for some reason. That's because they're expensive to buy. To try and buy unlubed switches from Cherry, you're generally, as a vendor, paying about 40p a switch, I think. So, yeah. Makes sense, especially when new switches go in stock for them to be more. Same with contractual obligations. Yeah, absolutely. Twitch on a TV is ass. I've never tried watching Twitch on a TV. Please post screenshots of your account in the chats. Sound like gold. I might start putting them on Instagram, maybe on my Instagram stories, because like he does genuinely get frustrated with me. He's a proper accountant. He's a proper business guru, and he wants PT to be successful and make money, and he wants me to make money and be happy. And that's just not how I run PT. I could absolutely run it that way, and I could pay for marketing, and I could double or triple our revenue, and I could send email blasts every week, and I could hire a marketing expert and, you know, pay for Google ads and stuff like that. But one, when we do that, we get complaints of other vendors that we're not being fair on them. Two, it's the kind of not the kind of business I want to run. Like, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this for the love of the hobby. I'm gonna have to find an adult job now so I can keep doing this for the love of the hobby. And I think it's just that there's a difference in my take on how I want to run the business than how he thinks I should run the business. But it leads to some friction. Sometimes that friction's quite funny, especially when you look back on it like a year later or a week later or something like that. Other times it's genuinely frustrating for both of us. So we'll see. I like the Heartbreaker, and on top it's £88 for 3 kits, but I don't know what board I'll put it on. You'll just have to find a keyboard for it. Buy a schema and put it on a schema. It's a Suba Uwu now, is it really? I mean, it lives with Tim, so yeah, it probably is. PT80s are great. Use a few of those in my boards. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Heartbreaker Lienzo, when that runs. Yes. I'm excited for that. Now he's doing the 60. 60s are a lot of people's favourite boards, yeah. So, yeah. You look great on a 75-inch TV, but I feel like I'm behind the stream by at least 20 seconds. You might well be, Eamon. You might well be. I think if you're on a TV, it's probably getting processed 3 or 4 times. But I'm glad I look nice on your screen. Thank you. Are you going back to be a software PO PM? I might look for something a little. I've been delving into doing some fractional CTO stuff over the past couple of years here and there.
Incredible.
I've been looking at some program management stuff with within higher education places. Nothing has come of that as yet. So yeah, we'll see. Hi Jet, we'll see. I don't have a job on the table. I don't have anyone saying, Jay, here's a job for you. I wish I did, because that would make things a lot easier. But I am slowly getting to the point where I'm trying to extract myself from the day-to-day stuff that PT does, so that I can go back to work. And that's broadly done. The stuff that I do now is because I want to do it, not because I have to do it. Like, the team can manage it without me now. So yeah, but I've gone 7 years and April, May, June, July, 7 years and 3 months without a salary now, and that is basically meant that I have gone from having 7 figures in savings to having 5 figures in savings, just to put it bluntly, like with everything else I've had to pay for and do and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, yeah. It's just one of those things. Manu and Bowl, Alex has a collab colorway for the Lienzo. Yeah, there's going to be quite a few collab colorways. I think we're going to do a Midnight Rainbow one as well. I need to speak to Manu on that, but I think we're going to do a Midnight Rainbow one too. The vendors that complain, is it always the one vendor? There's a few, but mostly one. What's the issue with the PT PCB? Will it work on all boards, or is it a compatibility issue? So it will work with anything that the Heine H87A will work with. It's basically a replica of the Heine H87A, so it should go and work on pretty much any TKL. I mean, the specs are on the page. I mean, we know that it works with a few boards, and there's a ton of other boards that it works with as well. Basically, if a Geon F1 PCB works with it, or a Glare PCB works with it, then our PT80 will work with it, and that's why we've had them there. Anything that's H88 or H87 daughter board JST version, it'll just drop straight in, basically. The only thing that you might have an issue with is if it's an O-ring style board and not a top mount or bottom mount board. But yeah, it should work with absolutely everything. 75-inch J, bigger than life. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. Sounds about right. How's the wrist rash? I hope it's gone. It was nothing serious. Yeah, it's fully gone now. Let me see if I can zoom in. For those of you not aware, last week when we were on stream, I developed a weird rash here. It's pretty much gone now. Don't know what it was. I do have a couple of little spots left from it just there, but it was kind of like all here, and I actually drew around it to see if it was getting any bigger. I did go to the doctors about it. They thought it was cellulitis, but they didn't want to prescribe anything for it at the time. So yeah, I just left it, put some topical cream on it, and it cleared up. But thanks for asking, Rue. Thanks for asking. I got allowed to put Jay on the main TV tonight. Price was won and group buy of Heartbreaker. That's not a bad deal. I think that's okay. 3 or 4 hours of me in exchange for one key set. I think that's fair. I think it's more people after hot swap TKL PCBs, but I love them. They've helped me out in a few boards, and I plan to pop them in a couple more boards as second builds. Yeah, I mean, we never really marketed them as well, and I think people get put off because they're pink, and they are bright pink. I probably have one here somewhere. So this is one of them. They have a couple of cool things. They are bright pink, and Josh, our in-house designer, designed these. They actually do show like the key slots on the top and the bottom, so like you can see which size space bar you're using, and it also tells you on the base as well. It tells you that for all of them. And especially when you get into here, like the ANSI and the ISO, and it shows you which way around to do them and all of that kind of stuff. JST connectivity, reset button on the bottom. Yeah, they also have a copper Enig finish on the edges, which is really, really hard to show you, but I promise you it is there. Like, the edges are actually coppered, so you need to be really careful when you're testing them that you're not touching the copper just in case it shorts. But yeah, they're really, really cool PCBs. Super nice, super pretty. PT logo there. I think Josh's, come on camera, there you go. Josh's logo somewhere around. Where's Josh's logo gone? Oh, there it is. There's Josh's logo. our in-house designer. Yeah, they come with the daughter board as well. Diodes on the bottom. Cool stuff. They also have like little guides on the top, so you can see where to put F keys for different F12 and F13 layouts, which is pretty fun. Stepped and full caps lock, split and full left shift, split and full right shift, ANSI, ISOs, double backspace options. Supports 10U on the bottom row as well, including 8U stabs. So if you used to have the old 8U stabs versions of a 10U spacebar, that works on it as well. So yeah, pretty cool thing. Really nice. And the pink. What's not to love? Pink. Pink PCBs. Spots unlikely to be cellulitis. It was kind of like all under the skin. I mean, I just trust what the doctor told me. I went to the local walk-in clinic. They said, we think it's cellulitis. It went away. So yeah. I sent you yourself on Discord. Wait, did you? You sent me a picture of me on Discord? Oh, he did. Hey. Nice. Thanks for my empathy. I appreciate that. Likely heat rash if you've done a lot of desk work. I do a lot of work, but yeah. You got a task, a rash on your forehead, didn't you? How's the rash today? It's actually eczema that I get on my forehead. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of sore. I wear a hat to hide it a little bit because I get self-conscious about it. But it's basically eczema on my forehead. So yeah, there's not much I can do about it, unfortunately. It's usually stress-driven. So when I'm stressed, it breaks out, does my eczema, which I don't get it in like the crook of my elbow or the back of my knee or anything, just on my forehead, which is bizarre. But it's just like when I did my GCSEs, for example, 25 years ago, it was so bad that it was cracked and bleeding because I was so stressed. It's never come back that bad, touch wood, but it's probably the worst it's been since then at the minute, and it's really sore. So yeah, I try not to wear a hat when I'm not in public, but I try and wear a hat to just hide it a little bit. So yeah. Managed to have cellulitis in my leg a few years back. One of the worst pains I've ever had. 100% do not recommend. It was just really hot to the touch and quite sensitive, but it's fine now. It's fine now. In spirit with the last time you were on Kalane's TV, you should just yap for 2 hours and not build the thing you promised. I mean, I was doing it partly because it was Kalane's board that I was building, so yeah. Jay, are you feeling generous today? I'm generous every day. I've just put all of our switches down to 20 pence a switch or less, so I think that's pretty good. Jay's medical stream. It's one of those things. That PCB would go very well with the blue RF ATEX if I managed to get an MX plate for it. If the plate file gets made open source, we can cut you a POM one here, Roo, and it should work. I mean, we can always offer it up to a case and test it, but yeah, they're pretty cool. Alvy's here as well. Good evening, Alvy. I hope you're doing well. It's lovely to be home, but the heat and humidity is insane this year. In Venice? Yeah, I bet it is, yeah. Hi, my brother. Hey, man, good to see you, dude. I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you on the stream. The AC doing good work. Okay, right. It is time for us to actually do something and build a keyboard now, I guess, because that's what we're here for. I used to look like Spider-Man during my exams at uni. After the exam, we're always fine. I think the stress that's driving it at the minute is we're trying to do a lot. I'm trying to find a job, which is hard, and I'm not like applying for a million jobs. I'm trying to get myself ready to apply for jobs, let's put it that way. So I've been brushing up my CV. I've been kind of thinking about the work that I want to get into and doing research. I've started to do a couple of qualifications that I would have done if I'd been in work for the past few years. I've kind of missed that might become or might not become important. So I'm preparing myself to enter the workplace again. So that's one thing that's quite stressful. Second thing is kind of like worrying about how and where I'm going to find a job, and is it going to pay the right money, and what does that all mean? That's kind of like the second thing. And then we're trying to move PT as a business to somewhere that's smaller and cheaper, because the building we have right now, whilst it's lovely, is very expensive, and the rent went up 13% last year, and I just can't keep paying that. So we want to downsize, get underneath the business rate size, and consolidate a lot of stuff. The place that I was bidding on to try and lease, which was in a town called Driffield, maybe an hour and 20 minutes away from where we are currently, that has basically fallen through. Unfortunately, when we've tried to get solicitors involved to come up with some form of lease opportunity, the landlord has not agreed to some of the terms that we wanted to put in the lease, such as we won't be held responsible for the building works if anything goes wrong with it, like if the roof falls in, we won't be responsible for that because it's an old building, or replacing like sash windows because it's a listed building. We wanted that to be the landlord's responsibility, and they're absolutely not. That's got to be the tenant's responsibility, and there was no agreement and no wiggle room there. So in the end, I think we're not going to be able to secure that space. So we're now looking for another space, and then we're still going to have to move the business, which is a whole thing. Me and my wife are still trying to sell our house, and it's now fallen through 7 times her sales on the house for a million different reasons. Well, 7 different reasons. Usually it's people get an agreement in principle for a mortgage, but then when they actually go for the mortgage, they fail the criteria and don't get the mortgage. A couple of others have fallen out because their house chain sales have not gone through. So we're trying to sell our house, we're trying to move at the same time. There's an opportunity for a house that is already within the family that we could buy that would be perfect for us, but we still have to sell ours first. So yeah, and it's not like we're even asking a huge amount of money for our house. It's under 300 grand. It's not even an expensive house. Everyone seems to think I have this massive expensive house, and I don't. It's really difficult right now. So we're trying to do that, and then moving and everything else, and then of course trying to sell my personal collection has been a big stressful thing on the back of my mind, which is why I'm so grateful for everyone who's coming up from the SPC to PT a week on Saturday coming to help me with that as well. So yeah, lots and lots of stuff going on. So yeah. PT not going to be your full time anymore. So Holy Monk, like PT will always be something I put a lot of hours into each week, but I don't get paid for doing this, and I haven't been paid for as long as I've been doing this, and I can't go any longer without getting paid. So I need to go and find a job so I can get paid, and then I can do this kind of like in the hours around it. So yeah. Like the PT as it exists right now won't change. My streams won't change probably. Maybe the timings on a Thursday will change, but the Sunday one won't change at all. The stuff that I do for the business won't change, or the important stuff I do for the business won't change. The team that can already do everything else, I'm almost superfluous apart from doing the kind of like contractual agreements and choices in terms of what we run and working with designers and stuff. Like I handle that side of things mostly. So that's all still going to happen, and that'll just be ad hoc here and there, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, maybe 3 hours a day, something like that. So yeah. But yeah, going back to a 9-to-5 job is going to be tough. Yeah, maybe it will be. I mean, I work, I can make up as much work as I want for PT, and I tend to do somewhere in the region of 100 hours a week just to run the company. But realistically, I could probably condense that down to about 15. So, yeah. Because I've got a great team, Mel and Sharon and Josh, and we've got some other people to help out in times as well. So, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be all good. Right, so I'm going to try and finish a bit of this coffee because it is getting cold now. It's like an hour since I made it. But yeah, we'll see how the 9-to-5 goes when I go back to a day job. It may go well, it may not. Who knows? Right, but let's talk about keyboards, because today we're building a Gundamhaku, and the first thing I need you guys to decide and help me choose is which switches we are going to have in the board. I'm going to set up a poll. So this is the Gundamhaku. This is the Haku with Gundam Seed theme. And I have 3 choices of switches for you to pick today. So the 3 choices of switches that we may or may not put in the board are TTC Blacks, Pantheon Keys TTC Blacks, Wook Studios Big Lucky switches, or Key Geek intros. Those are the 3 choices. We're going to put up a poll in a second. Okay, poll should be live. Nathan Noodler says, a little new to the party here, but are you a dev, Jay? No, I was always more project management side. So I used to be a project manager, product owner, program manager, senior program manager. I've done some fractional CTO work, stuff like that. So yeah. I'm not a dev specifically though, but I work around that kind of thing very well. So anyway, the poll is now live. You guys can pick which switches you'd like to see me use today. Personally, I'm thinking the Key Geek intros, but we'll see what you guys pick, because all three of these switches are absolutely lovely to use. All three of these switches are in stock, and they're all really, really cheap. So the big lucky switches are really cute and pink. The other two look very, very similar because they're just black housings. Yes. Blue cheese V2? No, I only stock switches I think are worthwhile selling. So yeah. Only 1 hour. Less than an hour. Just. Which ones are more noisy? Which ones are clackier? Probably the TTC Blacks, the clackiest, I would have thought. These are all stock switches. These have not been modded standard keyboard now. TTC Black all the way. I'm lubing the ones you sent for my Gundamhaku. Nice. No blue or red switches, but how can we properly theme this? Well, Jelly, I'm really sorry, but you can't. You can't, because I don't have any switches that are black or red. I mean, yeah, I don't have any. I do have some IKEA switches which are blue and yellow, but I don't have enough of them, I don't think. And I don't want to put those in either. The Key Geek intros are lovely, but I already know that, so we'll pick one of the others. Good way of doing it. Oh, the Big Lucky switches are winning now. Someone's dropped a load of channel points for the Big Lucky switches. Interesting. Interesting. Do you know, we've had these in stock for about a month now, and I think we've only sold one order of them. I think I've used more in builds than we've sold because I don't know why, but they're really, really good. I genuinely really enjoyed them. We put them in the, what did we put them in? I can't remember what board we put them in now. We put them in a board a few weeks ago, and I was blown away with that. Who could have done that? Was that you, Mr. Kalain? Who's spamming Big Lucky? I can check, I think. There is a way I can check. Can I? Oh yeah, I can see that. Oh wait, what? Oh yeah, I can see that for the TTC Blacks, Captain Reed has dropped 8,200 channel points. Oily has dropped 2,900. For the Big Lucky, I can see that Kalain has dropped 6,400. And Bert has dropped 4,200. And I can see for the Key Geek intro, the Instant Pork Ramen has dropped 900 points on those. But I think this is going to be between the Big Lucky and the TTC Blacks here, because there's a lot of points being spent. I might have to refresh that to get some updated numbers. Vote breakdown. Yeah, so Captain Reed has now spent 12,700 points, and Rue spent 4,200 on the TTC Blacks. And Mr. Kalain and Bert have spent 11,000 points each, and Trojum has spent 6,500 on the Big Luckies as well. So put them in my auction. But Beeperphone, yes, we did. That's exactly. I was trying to think because I was like, they're not here. Where are they? They're not here. And I was looking over there. I was thinking, what board did they go in? Because I don't have them anymore. Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You can't tell on people, Jay. I mean, I just did. Like, there's no secrets here. It's fine. This is not a democracy. Called out. Help me, Masters of Pink. Afresh, thanks, man. I appreciate you. I think we've got some more deathmats coming from yourself as well soon. So yeah. Feels like a lot of majority YouTube keyboarders promote HMX a hell of a lot. They, I can't talk about that. I was going to say something that I can't actually say that I'm not allowed to say. I will not say it. I will keep my mouth firmly closed. But there might be a reason for that. There might be a reason for that. Good boy. Say it. I can't. Contractually, I can't. I won and I got vetoed right time. JQ, you won. Yes, that's a long time ago. And we did put the browns in on the mods, and it was only the alphas that we didn't put them in. Work Studio Big Lucky Switches have won, so congratulations if you did vote for those. Let me refresh and see who did the voting for those. Rue, Captain Reed, and Oily tried to get the TTC Blacks over the line, and despite spending 30,000 channel points between them, they didn't quite get it there. Trojan, Bert, Mr. Kalane, Grok, Newfie, and Filio Fish, spending 45,900 channel points between them, did get it over the line. So well done, guys. Well done. If only those were bits. Okay, cool. We have decided on switches. Because they're sponsored. There's a little bit more to it. I'm not allowed to talk about it. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. Yeah, something like that. Ran out of points, says Rue. Yeah, it happens sometimes. But thank you, Rue. Thank you. You just have to watch more to get more points. How's the coffee business going? It's doing well. The wholesale stuff is doing really well. We're about to rebrand the customer-facing stuff. So the wholesale stuff that just goes to coffee shops is doing really, really well. That just happens, and coffee shops use our coffee as their house coffee. Great, fantastic. And then on the retail business to customer side of things, we're about to go through a rebrand. So Jay's Roastery is going to be taken offline in the next week when I get around to it, and there's going to be some replacement stuff happening pretty soon on that. Pretty soon. So yeah. Is there a way to vote with a custom amount of votes? I'm always clicking like crazy. I don't know. I've never tried. I think you just have to mash the button, as Mr. Klein says. I've only just clocked that the stupid green trunk thing at the bottom is channel points. Yes, it is. Yeah. I still have 29,000 left. Nice. If only I hadn't arrived so early, I would have had more in the bank. Go pour myself a gorgeous mezcal and apologise profusely to the universe. I have 120,000 points still left. Plenty of ring left, dude. That's insane. We'll be getting the HMX Sauro V2. I'm not sure. I don't know off the top of my head. You can vote on both browser and mobile at the same time. It goes fast. I bet it does. Right. Okay. Let's actually crack on with the build then. So we decided we're building with the Root Studio Big Wiki switches. So that's what we're going to use here. There's 90 in this bag. So that's what we're going to use for the board. We're also going to use a pack of 4-app stabilizers because they're probably the best on the market right now. And we need to lubricate those up first and foremost. So where's my cloth gone? We'll use this instead. This is like a little trial thing that I'm working with the company that makes them to try and see if we can offer little lubing stroke soldering mats. So let's get our stabilizers done. Now we are going to build the board. Let's put up a poll. Do you want me to build the board ISO or ANSI? Let's put up a new poll whilst I lubricate some stabilizers. We can't do it UK ISO because there isn't the UK ISO keys in the key set. But there is ISO support. So I'll let you guys vote on that. I'll let you guys vote on whether you want to see it as ISO or ANSI. So we're just a touch more. There you go. Kalane is going to blow everything. Wait, what? Is he? Need one of those mats. I don't want to dirty my busy time with lubing. Yeah, I'm gonna try and stock these really soon. In pink, of course, because pink is the best color. So watch this space because I'm trying to work on getting some pretty soon. We are going to go with 7U space. Well, you guys can. I'm not going to tell you what the novelties look like. You'll see what the novelties look like later on. You can just pick. You can just pick. I have ANSI in house. Nice. Jay not doing ISO on a personal build. Madness. I'm just going with the flow, guys. I'm going to let you guys decide what we do. A 4-ups become your go-to stab? Yeah, for a couple of reasons. One, they're really, really easy to tune. 2, I like the fact that I can pick whether I use them as screw-in or clip-ins. We're going to go clip-ins today. In fact, we might go screw-ins today, actually. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of them. I think they're really, really good. They're on par with Knights for me, and I like the fact that the stems are reversible as well. I do have a set way of how I like to put them together, but you can put the stem inside the housing this way, or you can flip it around and put it that way, and it will work just fine both ways, which is pretty cool. And they're the only stabilizer on the market you can do that with, to my knowledge. We do also have some other stabilizers coming, Knight stuff later on in the year, both clipping and screwing. We've got some others coming that were on Geek-Hack the other day that I've forgotten the name of. We've got a couple of hundred sets of those coming, I think. I might spam this. What are you guys picking? It's pretty even so far. It's pretty even. Save me using a random box and I'm putting my switches in my hotspot PCBs. Fair. ISO Enter novs look good. I just don't want to use it. Not just pink. Get a few colours at least. Pink will just be the one that I'm going to be doing, but we'll probably do light colours. Like if you do black colours like black and grey, it tends to hide things like screws on it. So I want to do bright colours. We won't do yellow because that's obviously available from the place that's supplying them. But we'll do some other colours. We might do like a light baby blue. Just depends. Different colours and different resins cost different amounts of money as well, so we want to try and get them all at the same price point. No BAE. The key set doesn't contain BAE, so we can't do it BAE. Come on, I know you want to go in. Have I got you misaligned? Night clip-ins are coming later on in the year, I think. We have got some on order, I believe. They're just going through the final phase of production. We'll probably use these as screw-ins, actually. I think I prefer screw-in overall, unless I'm building a an O-ring kind of mounted board. Lilac, we could maybe do lilac ones. Like a pastel purple, maybe. I had the idea of like trying to do them to match all the original N64 colours. That was like kind of my idea the other day, but I don't know. We'll see. We just spent so many points. So tempted to bomb ANSI. Kalane the NC King. Recently got a board that doesn't have ISO support, so I'll be forced to use BAE, and the choice is still quite limited. I hope more sets will come with BAE soon. Fingers crossed TA Neo made it. I don't know if I've seen the numbers for TA Neo, but it wasn't particularly good from our side, I know that. Which is unfortunate because it's one of my favourite sets of all time. Why does the mounting of the board change screwing or clipping? So for certain gasket mounts, the gasket sits between the plate and the PCB, and if you have a clip-in stabilizer, so if you have a clip-in stabilizer on a 60% and the stabilizer comes this close to the edge, like you can see here, the O-ring can't sit on top of the PCB and under the plate because the housing pushes it out. Clip-in stabilizers have a smaller carapace here at the back, so you can fit the O-ring in a little bit easier. But you have to have space for the threading of the screw on screw-in stabilizers, so they take up more space at the back end of the housing. So it's just a size thing. So I mean, like this part here where you put the screw in, you can see how these are quite thin because these are mostly designed to be clip-ins. But if you clip that off, most screw-in stabilizers are deeper here. I might have another one actually to show you. I have something else. Yeah, so you can see here on this stabilizer that from the bottom to the top is quite thick, whereas on these it's quite thin. So there's like quite a bit of difference if you ignore the screw. So it just prevents the O-ring being able to sit nicely, basically. Okay. So we're building it generic ISO, and we did have a lot of channel points thrown at this. Trojam and JQ UK on the ISO train, with Jehovah in Bed, Clacky Keeps and Exists, and Gemma and Philia Fish on the ANSI train. And I'm really sorry, guys, but ISO generic layout did win, so we're going to build it ISO. Excuse getting away with the O-ring. Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, I was not explaining it very well, but that's exactly it in much more simple terms. Yes. The part of the housing where the screw sits is thicker on a screw-in stabilizer than it is on a clip-in stabilizer, and therefore it limits and impedes the use of an O-ring. I used to live in Canada, so I'm so used to ANSI I can't use ISO. We all have our faults, Gemma. We all have our faults. I'm almost out of points after the last couple of times I've rigged it. What's your favourite watch accessory? What do you mean by a watch accessory? Do you mean like a strap? Or something like that? Is it okay to buy from outside the UK? Yeah, you're fine, Cruson. We ship orders worldwide every single day, so you're more than fine to order from the website if you're outside of the UK. If you can check out, we ship to you. In fact, we ship everywhere. There's not a single country we don't ship to. So. I can switch between ISO and ANSI. I do prefer ISO generally, but I'm ANSI queen. I can use both. I think for me, ISO looks proper, more correct. Retune or change steps. What do you mean, sorry, Rue? I'm not sure I understand the question. Mr. Blackbrook, I hope you're doing well. Anything that is not the watch itself. I like the strap tailor for straps. This leather straps from them. They have some really nice woolen straps, which I tend to change to if I'm wearing a suit. I have quite a nice green woolen suit. And I do change the strap because I have a matching strap in the exact same suit colour. Wool colour as the suit, which is quite nice. But I don't really do much in terms of other watch accessories. I have my watch winder box that's on the shelf behind me that you might be able to see for all my automatic watches. That was quite a good bargain. Other than that, I don't really have many watch accessories. Just a few straps remaining. BAE and split backspace is fun. Yeah, that sounds like a good combo. I do like BAE. I think a lot of my ANSI boards end up having a BAE enter on them. ISO enter and full left shift. Yeah, that's semi-common in some EU places. My only wish in this hobby is that an ISO that designers actually prototyping the layouts. They say things working. You're not wrong, JQ. You're not wrong. Might have asked you this before, Jay, but can you let me know what was that website you once showed with all the jackets? I think you got a pink jacket from there. It's Fram. I'll type it into chat for you. I'm a big fan of Fram. I have 5 jackets from them now. They're not cheap, but they're exceptionally good. I do have a pink jacket from them, the pink workers jacket. I have a couple of the Harrington Racer jackets, and I've got some of the others as well. Still drool over that ETAR with the Dolce BAE. Yeah, it's in the workshop right now, isn't it? It gets a lot of people clacking at keyboards and coffee on a Thursday. Ordered some Key Geek Asher switches. Nice. Thank you, Mr. Blackbrook, for dropping the link properly to Fran while I'm lubing switches. I appreciate you. Stabilizers, not switches. Yeah, Frama good. Super comfortable. Although I do need to, I washed my pink jacket from Fram for the first time the other week, and I now need to find a way of decreasing it a little. So I'm going to try and get the steamer on it at some point this week. Okay, there we go. That is our stabilizers all lubricated. Oh, some of the stabs in a couple of the keyboards don't sound as I like. Do you recommend to clean them and re-lube them, or use new ones instead? I think it depends on the stabilizer, and it depends on what was done to it. Cleaning lube off is not easy. There's a substance called Virtrol, which will remove certain lubricants, and WD-40 is good for removing lubricants as well. But I think if you're adding the same lubricant to the stabilizers, it's generally fine to kind of like almost scrape it off and reapply it. If you're wanting to change the lubricant that's on the stabilizers to something completely different, I think it's better to have just fresh stabilizers, because you'll never get them perfectly clean, and certain types of lube don't mix very well. So if you put an oil, for example, if you wanted to use 105 oil on stabs that had BDZ on before, it's just not going to go well, and the oil will start to get clumpy and thick and congeal if there's any lube left on there. So you have to really, really clean them, and that's a lot of effort to go through for something that costs less than 20 quid. Like, you have to buy, actual solvents to get rid of it, and a lot of greases like 205 grade 0 and BDZ are designed to be solvent resistant. That's the whole point of them. They're solvent resistant, so you then have to find a solvent that they aren't resistant to be able to get the grease off. So yeah. Changing stabilizers, I think, is usually the easiest way. Okay, so now we've done that, I'm just going to open the screws and washers section of the bag and get some screws and washers ready, and then we'll clip these stabilizers. Oh my God. I'm always scared that when I open these packets, they're going to just fly everywhere, so I get really nervous, because the packet just gives sometimes, and they do go everywhere, so I'm always really nervous. They went everywhere anyway. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, we want to use the thicker ones today, and we're just going to put these on the screws and put them to one side just so they're ready to go. We need one screw per side of the stabilizer, so 2 screws per stabilizer. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We won't use all these stabilizers, but at least we'll have them ready. I like the thicker ones, they just sit on the screws nicer. The thin ones are fine, but I like the thicker ones. I mean, it comes with both for a reason, so you can use them to your leisure. Just personal preference, I prefer the larger ones. If you're going to have one, have a big one, right? It is the Conti Studio ones, yes. I'd forgotten the name of them, but yes, it is those. We will have them in stock at some point. We've already paid for them, we just need to wait for them to ship to us now.
Tasty, tasty.
Chrono Ducky, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I thoroughly appreciate that. And thank you for lighting up the pink rocket ship behind me. Speaking of someone who likes, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's your thoughts on GMK Divina Papaya? I think it's a really cool set. I like that kind of set anyway, as you can see from my use of Windbreaker. So yeah, I'm a big fan. That's why I ordered the UK ISO kits for it, even though we'll never sell them all. Again, stupid Jay making stupid decisions, but sometimes these things have to be done. Right, I think that's 10. Oh, stole the 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Okay, cool. Right. Let's I do have an open pouch actually for these. Plate question. The black plate on my white build bothered me so much that I'm considering getting it professionally powder coated in white. Am I insane? Is there another way? No, you're not insane. You could just spray paint it if you wanted to. It depends on what material it is though. I mean, I tend not to worry about the color of my plate because it's going to be in shadow most of the time, unless I have like a really bright light on my desk. You can always buy darker keycaps. But if it bothers you, that's the whole beauty of custom keyboards. You can make a change and make a tweak and do something different. You could maybe have a black palm plate made, something like that, if you prefer. That might help. Right, okay, let's take a look at the PCB next. I'm going to zoom out just a touch and grab the PCB, and then we can start to install these stabilizers into the PCB. I don't usually store pre-looped stabs at Gomaro. I tend to lubricate stabilizers as I need them. If we pre-lube them for a customer, they just go in the pouches that the customer orders them in. Yeah, we're not going to use all of these stabilizers. No. 6, 7, something like that. Value. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you could absolutely get it Cerakoted. Hexen would be able to Cerakote it for you. This is a really, really cool PCB. This is the Kohaku PCB with the Gundam edging, which is pretty cool. Just plain on the base. It's still pretty nice. We have gone for the solder PCB, which is always the best choice. Right, okay, so we do need to clip our stabilizers now. So we're just going to basically take off the end nubbins here. And we're just going to take that off both sides. They're going to fly off wherever they're going to fly off to in the room. Just make sure they're nice and flush. And then we're going to apply the stabilizer to the PCB. I need to grab my screwdrivers. And then once the stabilizer's into the PCB, we're just going to get our screw onto the end of our screwdriver, just like so. We're going to pin our stabilizer into position, and we're just going to gently screw it in. Remember, you're not trying to overly tighten these, you just want to go flush with the PCB and then a quarter turn more, finger tight, and then a quarter turn more, just to make sure that they're nice and evenly installed. And that's our spacebar stabilizer fully installed. Next we're going to do backspace. So again, we're going to just clip the legs off. Luckily we'll be vacuuming up tomorrow, so they'll hopefully get picked up with the vacuum cleaner tomorrow. And we're just going to repeat that process. Screw onto the end of the screwdriver, pin the stabilizer in place, flip it over, screw that down, and then the same on the next one. Don't need to tighten them too much, just so they're nice and flush. Okay, it's time to do the ISO into one. Again, clip these. Oh wait, I seem to have lost sound. I'm gonna have to turn my headphones off. I swear my Bluetooth controller is going. Apologies if you got music twice there for a second. There we go, I can hear again now. Okay, so we're just going to screw in the ISO enter stabilizer. Whoops. What we would do if I don't drop it. Even the carry case is baller. It's a really, really cool board. It's such a cool collab. I was super, super happy when Single like, would you like one? I was like, yes, I would. I mean, I had to pay for it, obviously, but I was super, super happy about it. Okay, there we go. They are all now nicely screwed in. We're going to put those away. Next job is to grab our plate and install the switches. Sony's are a pain in the butt with my Mac. I think it's a software issue. I don't know if I mean, they've been fine for years. It's only like the past couple of weeks where I've had an issue. So I think it must be the Bluetooth controller on my PC. So we are going to use the carbon fiber plate, I think. We do have an aluminium plate, but I think I want to use a carbon fiber one. We'll need that accessory pack, and we'll need that. And that's all we'll need. Have the same ones? Yeah, I've got the XM4s. Yeah. I think you're on something with the therapy. Here's the carbon fiber plate, looking all snazzy as they do. So make sure that all lines up nicely. Great. Okay, grab the plate fork, and now we can install the switches. So MTU arranged maybe think, yeah, it's been talked about. It may happen. May happen. If there's enough demand for it, it'll happen. So now we're going to just install the switches across the bottom row, and then slowly work our way around the PCB. And then once we've installed all the switches, we can get to some soldering. Just going to come around the front and do the arrow keys next. Surprised you didn't want to do an MTU Midnight Rainbow. Oh, we had it priced up, but the base kit pricing for Midnight Rainbow in MTU, like, even if we sold it with zero profit, it would have just been so expensive that we just wouldn't have hit MOQ, and I was really nervous about it. Yeah, as much as I would love to do it, like, things have to make financial sense sometimes, and unfortunately that was just one project that didn't make sense. What layout we're doing on this? I think we're doing 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, I think. Yeah. Is that right? Is that right? Yeah. I think that's right. We'll go with it. Yeah, it's good. Right. I'm sure that's right. Someone tell me if I built this wrong. We can just desolder it if we do it wrong. Is that price so high because of the colours? Yeah, the colours and plus the kitting. So when you're doing a gradient set, you have to have more options because the way that the numbers shape the angles increases the number of keys that you need to match the different layouts of popular boards. So there's a real exercise in kitting breakdown that you need to go through for stuff like that, which can get quite complex, and then you have to start making more compromise, and that can often lead to an increase in price, basically, because you're having to do multiple different things that you wouldn't normally have to do. I'm going to go for step caps because step caps is best, as everyone knows. Step caps, 7U, ISO enter, split left shift. These are the things. that the good world is made of. Good question. So good it didn't catch Jay's eyes. Did I miss something? What was the question? Sorry, what did I miss? We talked about the stabs. Some of the stabs in a couple of keyboards don't sound as like, yeah, okay. Did I miss another question? Oh, what other officially licensed crossovers like the Gundamhaku would you like to see? We've done a few over the years that we've been part of. We did Hyperlight Drifter crossover, and we did Moomin crossover. I think I'd really like to see, if we could ever get it off the ground, like a proper like Nintendo like Switch crossover or something like that, like an accessory keyboard for something like that would be really, really cool. Especially if we could do like something like you know, Mario themed keycap set, or something like officially licensed Mario themed set, or maybe a Sonic themed set or something like that. Would be super, super cool. I don't know if that's even feasible or achievable, but that'd be really cool. I'd like to see some stuff done in like movie spaces as well. Like I think there's like this kind of like inspired stuff like by Severance. There's a keycap set we're working on right now in MTNU called MTNU Dasher, which we're just trying to set a date for, which, you know, is inspired by Severance and things, but it'd be really cool to get some actual proper crossover sets done with stuff like that, officially licensed stuff, and like movies as well, where you see them, like, you know, a Marvel set that was officially licensed could be really cool. I think Drop did some a few years ago, but obviously they don't exist anymore, so I imagine the licenses have lapsed. And then, but licensing is so difficult. Like, we were talking to Elaine about doing the Singer for the Rubber Haku here in the UK, and the licensing was just impossible to get through, so it just wasn't feasible, and it ended up only being available in Singapore and associated areas. So, you know, there's a lot of challenges when it comes to licensing, and I think the biggest challenge is there just isn't enough money in keyboards or in high-end custom keyboards to actually go down the whole let's license it properly route for major IP. You can only really do it for much smaller IP. So, you know, I think Gundamhaku is probably the biggest one that's happened. Moomin was probably not quite as big, and it's just a really difficult proposition to work through. Because it's then stuff that you can never sell on sale. It's stuff that you can never sell at a loss. You have to hope that the hype is there to drive the sales. And for some stuff that might work, you know, but for other stuff it's just not going to work. I saw Elaine mentioned you might be vendor for Stinger. Very excited. Oh, really? I haven't spoken to her about it properly yet, but it's kind of like something we'd like to do. So, yeah, if we can, we will do. I thought we was going to have to rig a caps lock pole then. No, step caps is best. Licensing is always the issue. Yeah, licensing is just so expensive, man. Like we wanted to do the NK Star Wars sets a while back, which were really, really cool, but like the licensing for the US was expensive enough, and then when you started to look at the factor for the UK, it was just about the same cost as doing it for the US, but the market here is only 10% of the size, so we'd have had to increase the price absolutely astronomically just to get it over the line, and the community wouldn't have accepted it. They would have then said, oh, it's just vendors being greedy, when in reality it would just be licensing that would be almost impossible to do. So as much as I would love to do a lot more licensed stuff, it's really hard on a shoestring budget. I've been on Mario. Yeah, me too. Star Wars with Sub-Legends. Like just Disney just doesn't want to do it. Like, it's just so expensive. Did also mention an agreement with HoloLive from Singer 2. Yeah, that's pretty cool to happen, yeah. Fallout collab would be fun, given Microsoft's situation. They might want the money as well. I mean, it's pittance to companies like Microsoft, right? In the keyboard economy, realistically, it's gonna, like, even if it made $1 million, which very few projects do, like, Microsoft are gonna get like 10% of that. It's gonna be, you know, 100 grand. It's not huge amounts. Novel Keys had the Star Wars stuff they could only sell in North America. Yeah, it's just impossible to get the licensing to do it elsewhere. Smaller IPs, not that we've had 2 Pokemon themed keycaps which have been a bit more than just inspired by. No, they were inspired by, just inspiration, that's all. Did you have an issue with something being a licensed product which finished group buy after the licensing sale period ended, so you couldn't sell it? Then when you finally received it, I remember misremembering something instead. Yeah, so that was Hyperlight Drifter. The original agreement was for 12 months for us to be able to sell the product for 12 months. And the production took longer, and we didn't do pre-orders back then, whereas the Key Company did. So they sold Hyperlight Drifter for that period. It might be 24 months actually, not 12 months. But they sold Hyperlight Drifter for the period in the group buy, which we did as well. They then put all of their extra sets up for pre-order, so they sold many more than we did. We didn't put a pre-order up because I didn't do pre-orders then. But then by the time the keycap sets had been produced and we got them in hand, the agreement for the keycap set to be sold had basically been null and voided. It had ended. And when I spoke to the team behind Hyperlight Drifter, like they wanted the same amount of money for the licensing fee again to extend it for another couple of years, and we would never have made that money back on the keycap set sales because there weren't enough of them. So we had just had to write off the loss and not sell them. So yeah, which is the other side of issues with things like that. Like, contracts have time scales to them, and if you can't sell something within that time scale, you're kind of out of luck. And that was very much the case for Hyperlight Drifter, or Cat Drifter, which was a Hyperlight Drifter inspired set. Sorry. So yeah, difficult stuff. Oh no, I've got Hubert in my DMs now. What does Hubert want? Oh, he wants me to go back on Keyboard Friends podcast. Okay, I'll message him tomorrow. Yeah, we've solely moved to DPD for domestic orders now. Rue. DHL only want us for our international orders. So yes, that is correct. Right, okay, so we now have our PCB and plate all assembled. The next thing to do is to check for any bent pins on the bottom. I'm conscious that the ISO enter is not fully held in there, and it may fall out as the plate is very, there it goes, as the plate is very open, so we'll have to be careful when we come to soldering that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to visually check and make sure that 2 pins are protruding for each switch before we start to solder it. But then we're going to start soldering it in just a minute. Just making sure all the switches are fully inserted into the plate and PCB, making sure that they're fully installed, and that 2 pins are showing for every single switch. Okay, just coming down this layer now, this row, coming back up this side. And the bottom row now. Looks like everything has multiple pins shown, which is great. Okay, we'll do the ISO enter key last, but that does mean we're ready to start soldering now. So let's get set up for the soldering. More Jay on the Good Keyboard Friends podcast would be great. Thanks. I do always enjoy going on the Good Keyboard Friends podcast. But I was surprising how disinterested people were with the workshop tour. Like, that has like less viewings than almost every other podcast they've done, I think, which surprised me. I thought that would be really popular, but JLo's ISO, but ISO enter does not reciprocate. Yeah, it's just the plate doesn't hold the switch in particularly firmly, and neither does the PCB. So we're just going to start soldering. We're going to work our way across now. So while since we've soldered on stream, I think we've done more non-keyboard soldering recently with vintage games consoles. Let's see if we can get this going at a good pace. So it's quite tricky just here up against the USB port. Just take this steady. If you guys have got any questions for me, now's a great time to ask them because I can answer them whilst I'm soldering. The Hollow Knight inspired set got cancelled, right? Yeah, I think there might be an option to rework it as something else, but yeah. I think it's just difficult because you have to be so careful with inspirations, just to avoid rights issues and things. Like, it's really difficult. Interesting that I count as international for DHL. Technically is international, I guess. But yeah, DPD is now going to be our sole UK carrier, apart from Royal Mail for really small stuff. Like if you just order a pack of stabilizers, that'll be Royal Mail. I really don't like DPD because they hand off to DPD Island, making rearranging delivery a nightmare. They also tend to just leave stuff and they're slow as fuck. Fair. Newfie says, Jay, if you could go back and have a part in any movie, which one would you choose? Which movie would I choose to have a part in? Oh man, I assume it's going to have to be something that's been made since I've been alive. I'd like it to be something fun and adventurous. Probably Jurassic Park would be my choice there. I'd love to be like one of the scientists in Jurassic Park or something. That'd be so cool. There's someone who watches the stream sometimes called Dennis Nedry, and if you've never watched Jurassic Park, that's one of the main characters in the film. Is called Dennis Nedry. He's a terrible person, but he's a great character. So yeah, probably pick something like Jurassic Park. Or maybe something else from my childhood. Maybe something like Nightmare Before Christmas. It'd be so cool to be one of the modelers on Nightmare Before Christmas. That'd have been amazing. Or maybe even Tim Burton's Batman with Michael Keaton. That would have been super cool. That's just such a stylistically cool movie when you look at it. Great question. Can it be an adult film? Read. Who are your top 5 favourite board designers right now? I think Bol is up there. Bol designed some really, really cool stuff. Josh, our in-house designer, does some really cool stuff. He hasn't done anything for a while, but like some of the stuff we've done and prototype for him has been amazing, even though it's never been shared publicly. I think Justin at JJW is really, really talented. And make some amazing products. I'm pretty happy with all of the products I've had from Ryan as well. So you know, like the Q and stuff like that, the Craze, or the K's, Kaze. His stuff's always been really, really good. I think AKB James is always up there in the conversation as well. He designed some really, really cool stuff. I just saw his recent split board a few days ago, so like a couple of weeks ago, which I didn't even know about, which was really, really cool. Is that 5? I think that's 5. But yeah, I couldn't put them in any particular order. I think the whole designer space is really cool, but from a keyboard designer perspective, those are the ones I'd pick. From a keycap designer perspective, I think Captain Mike's doing some really, really good stuff right now. I've always liked Piper as well. He's done some really cool SA designs. They don't always get run, and a lot of them don't do particularly well, but we did History of Violets, and I think he's just got a really good eye for design. I think Clever Keeps actually for keyboards as well is up there. Like Clever's just a super nice guy and very, very talented with what he does too. So like there's so many good people though. Like I'm leaving out people, like, you know, if you wanted to talk about Desmats, I think Afresh is up there, and No Style is up there as well. They both make amazing Desmat designs. You know, Riley from a key set perspective as well over at Novel Keys is really, really talented. He's done some cool stuff. Like there's just so many cool people, and I feel like I'm doing a load of people a disservice because I'm not mentioning them, because I'm not thinking of them in the moment. You know, there's just so many cool things out there right now. It's a Unix system. I know this. Aren't the vendors liable if someone does decide to drop in a lawsuit because a set is inspired by something? With GMK, you indemnify GMK, so they would come to you, and you probably either have to cancel the project if someone did come after it, or you would have to pay a royalty, and you'd probably get shafted with legal fees and other stuff. With other manufacturers, it's a little bit more open. So with, for example, KKB, you know, they'd probably have to go after KKB, and with them being a Chinese company, I don't know how easy or hard that would be. Signature Plastics, I've never really broached the subject with them, but I imagine that they would want some form of indemnification, or they would feign ignorance, most likely. But yeah, there's some challenges with it. Justin and Bowl, yeah. Didn't mention Clever. Yeah, I did mention Clever. Like, the thing is that there's so many people I could mention, and you know, Nux Rose as well. I think working with him is really good. Kazewa are really good. They've got some great in-house design people now. You know, like there's a million people that we work with, and I feel like I'm doing all the ones I've forgotten to mention a disservice. But it's not meant to be an exclusive list. It's yeah, we work with so many people now that it's really hard to remember everyone and to give everyone their dues in that kind of space, I guess, when I'm asked such a limited range question of just 5. Piper's great choices for colours. Yeah. Anyone else is prolific as Bowl? There's a few people who are doing more than Bowl. Carter's doing a lot of stuff. It depends on what sort of thing you're looking at. SP and DCS specifically for me has been fun to work with. Yeah, nice. DCS root beer. Did that even happen? I've not even seen that, I don't think. Did we sell that? I don't think so. Before the Bion incident, his boards are so unique. Yeah, Bion's a great guy. He never meant to hurt anyone. Oh, we need to do the ISO enter. Let's switch the right way around. I'm just going to try and pin it down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to solder one leg, and then we'll get it all nice and neatly pressed in, and then we'll solder the second leg. So now that's in place, I'm going to just reflow that, get it all in place properly, and then we'll solder the second leg. There we go. What was that 65% with wood on again a while back? I don't know. There's been a lot of 65% with wood on. There we go. All soldered. Excuse me. Looking very neat and tidy. Now time to test this. Hopefully it will work on this cable. But let's load up switch hitter first. Okay, we're using ISO. Let's get this plugged in and give it a try. Are we just getting nothing from this? Have we got dead PCB? This is why you should always test your PCBs, folk. Give this another try. I got the disconnection noise there, so maybe it's just taking a second to turn on. We are getting nothing. Let's hit the reset key. Uh-oh. Do we have a dead PCB? Wait, there we go, okay. Okay. That's going to be FN, so that should give us F keys, yeah. Arrow keys all working. I think it just needed a second. Oh, so these keys are switched around, so we do need to fix that. Caps lock's all working. Okay, all working. We just need to switch that around. I'm not sure if Via is going to work in my browser right now. I've been having a lot of problems with Via working lately. Let's see if I can get it to work. I might not be able to show you this very quickly, guys, but okay, I'm just going to set this to it is working. Interesting. ISO enter split left shift. Okay, and then that one wants to be enter. Why can I not find enter? There it is. And then we want non-US hash. Where's non-US hash gone? There it is. Okay, so now coming back over to here, if I clear and reload that, that should now be a hash key. Yeah, and that should be enter. There we go, all sorted. Excellent. Cool, so that's configured. Right, sorry I couldn't share that with you guys. Right, but that's now all sorted and working. Let's re-plug back in the actual keyboard. Okay, let's catch up with chat for a minute. Kafka, yeah, Kafka's coming soon. It's not too far away. Oh, that was the board with the wood on. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Squeaky bum time. Yeah, I think it just needed a second. Ketwood Keeps is here and says, "Hey Jay, what board is that in the upper left-hand corner that has the windbreaker keycaps on it, and what color is it?" It's beautiful. This is a TGR. This is a TGR Koala with the Prototypist logo milled into it direct from TGR. It is teal on top and it's pink on the bottom. As you can see, it has a huge copper weight on the base as well. And then the TGR logo is in the back corner here. Yeah, it's got the cool PT logo milled into it. That's all engraved in. Super, super cool keyboard. There's not very many koalas around, but yeah, it's really, really nice. Right, okay, so that's all of our soldering now tested and working. Let's get the keyboard out, and then we can move forward with that. Can we get a BAE kit, but instead it's JAE? No one wants that. Good thing there's not a keycap poll, considering how many points were spent on switch layout and choice. I mean, the board does come with a keycap set, so we don't need to specify a keycap set. And this is the Gundamhaku. No, it's custom anodization from when it was produced. We could order them in, or they allowed me to order it in a specific colorway, and I chose this colorway for the koala. So it's just stock. Technically, it's stock anodization, but it's a very custom run. So sort of both, I guess, is the real answer. The bad looks gorgeous. What's bad? Yeah, that's the case. Super, super cool. And here is the board itself. Oh, the bag? Yeah, so here's the board itself. It's got that Mobile Suite Gundam Seed logo at the bottom. It's got its authenticity certificate in there as well. The Singer keyboard logo there too. And then looking on the front, it's got the strike emblem etched in. Camera, please focus. Camera, please. There you go. Awesome side profile, and then on the rear, it's got space for a little badge, which we'll look at in a bit. And then here is the base, which which is just super, super cool. Just such an awesome keyboard. Okay, but let's get this thing taken apart and then we can start to have a look at what we need to do. So I think we need that size screwdriver. Not too big. Yeah, okay, let's go a bit smaller. Yeah, I mean, the whole board was custom made by TGR for me, so I'm a very lucky person, incredibly lucky person. I do not deserve some of the luck that I've had in my life. Now we can take the top case off. And the first thing I'm going to have a look at is this badge here, because we do have another option for this badge. So if we peel off the sticker here, there is this badge here which is built into the board. But we do have another choice for this, which is here. I'm not quite sure of the difference. I think maybe this has got more of a golden hue to it. Oh, I think it's just a replacement. I think it's just an extra badge. I think it's just an identical badge, so we have a spare. Good to know. It's super, super cool either way. I'm just going to pop that in there for now. If I actually, do you know what, I'm not. I'm going to pop it back in this bag. That can go back in the case. Person prefer the rubber Haku? That's cool. The badge actually has a small screw on the inside that screws in. Okay, so first job then is to install our gaskets. So let's install the gaskets and then we can install the feet. I'm going to go for the clear feet, I think. I just think they're going to look a little bit better on this whiteboard. We'll do the feet first actually. Only slight downside with clear feet is that they do go sometimes yellow over time, but I think that's worthwhile because the black ones will just look a little bit too dark. I think we just offer those up. I think they're just going to look a little bit too dark, so we'll go for the milky clear ones. You know what brand the bowl is? It's a bowl. It's made by the designer Bowl. We don't have any in stock anymore, I'm afraid. We have sold out of them, and we also have things like the play tray, which has a little ball in it. Again, that's all sold out, but we hope to have some more in stock at some point. We do have some others in stock. There are some trays in stock that you can take a look at on the website, but both of those ones are older products and currently sold out. Okay, so that's the feet installed. They're all nicely installed. I think those look better than the darker feet, so we're going to go with those. And now it's time to install the gaskets. So the gaskets are basically going to sit in the grooves that you can see here. See the little groove there, all the way around the board. And once we've installed those, we also need to install them into the top case as well, into these gaps here. So we're just going to install the base ones first, and then we'll install the top layer. Grey feet would have been a nice touch, or white. I mean, these are kind of like a milky white, I guess, so they're probably the closest to the case we could get. Of all the special Hakus, this is by far my favourite. I think it's mine too. I'm lucky that I've got most of the special Hakus. What's my favourite size board at the minute? I tend to use a 65 or a TKL for most things. Occasionally, I mean, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm just writing stuff, I like a 60% or maybe even a 40% sometimes. Like if I'm just writing like text, like if I'm trying to write a blog post or something, a 60 is great for that. For general productivity, I like a TKL. If I'm using Excel a lot, I tend to bust out my numpad, which is just under here. It says, there it is. So it really depends on what I'm doing, I think. I feel like that one's not square. I don't like it. Maybe that's a little bit better. Wasn't a fan of the beloved Order of Kohaku. I mean, that's cool. No, the world would be a boring place if we all like the same sorts of things. You know, not every product has to be for every person. I think we often forget that as consumers. It's really easy to fall into this trap of, oh, X company have done this new product, and although I liked all of their old products, I don't like this new one. And that's bad. I think, well, no, I think that's okay, because if you like everything a company did, it just gets a little bit boring. It's nice to not like something sometimes. You know? Okay, time to do the top case now. I always find these ones a little bit more difficult to fit because you've got to drop them into a gap and keep them square. 27 keyboard is also great for writing. Yeah, I've been working on like a little in my spare time. I've been working on like a little tool that's like a bare bones writing device. It has like the idea is that you would just plug a keyboard into it, and that's literally, and then it would just be a word processor, like a really basic word processor, so you're not distracted by the internet and games and all of the other things that you might have on your actual PC. I did send off for some hardware for it a couple of weeks ago, so we'll see how that goes. But it might be something new we can do in the near future, like just a really cool little device to just, hopefully really cheap. I'm hoping it'll be like under 100 quid, and it'll literally just be like an e-ink screen. And a USB port to plug in your keyboard, and it just basically reads it as a HID device and lets you type. It's pretty cool. If it works like I intend it to, it'll be cool anyway. We'll see. We'll see. Oh man, this one just doesn't. Might have actually ruined this gasket here. Oh no, we'll go out. Oh, it stuck to my finger. Okay, that's all of our gaskets now installed. Next job is to put a PCB and plate in. And we're just going to do that by tucking under the USB port, aligning everything nicely on the gaskets. That's now all nicely firmly pressed up and aligned with the gaskets, as you can see there. The leaf spring carbon fiber mount. And then we can put the top case on. Make sure that all lines up again nice and evenly. And then we can get the screws out and screw the case back together. Just like so. I think people may freak out about their originals being depreciated in value by another injection of keyboards. I don't know. Do you think the Kohaku is a keyboard that can be run again and again successfully? Any other that you consider that could be? I mean, I think eventually, no matter what keyboard it is, eventually, same goes for any product. Eventually, the novelty is going to wear off. If you do too many collaborations, eventually it will just you know, stop being collectible, and people will just be like, oh, okay, it's fine, whatever. You know, it's ultimately available wherever. So you do need to have some scarcity if you want to follow that model, I think. Yeah. And people will freak out about their values changing. If you like something for the value, did you really like it enough to begin with, or just the money aspect? Absolutely. People buy things for far more reasons, right? Yellow, blue, and a BRG. Nice. This is an in-stock desk mat. This is from the Gurakawa desk mats. It's in stock right now. Thank you, Jelly Master, for the link. I appreciate that. So there's the board all assembled. This is carbon fiber plate, Rook Studios Big Lucky switches. Super, super pretty keyboard. And it's now time to put some keycaps on it. So we are going to use the actual Gundamhaku keycaps that come with the board. Now, there are a ton of novelties. We get all of these, and we get the whole keycap set. So I'm just going to put the base keycaps on it first, and then we'll have a look and see how we feel about novelties. I think we're going to go with the red Numbro just because we can. In fact, maybe we leave the escape off now, and we'll come back to that in a second. I'd love to older board designs run again. Things like Kohaku's, unicorns, koalas. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would do, but you know, I think you have to keep moving on as well. You can't just look at the old stuff. Unfortunately, you have to start moving on and doing new stuff, and that's why when we finally do the final run of the JL1, that'll be the last time we run it, and it won't come back after that. It's looking good. Right, let's move on to the next row. I think I will put the yellow escape on actually, just to break that up. And I'm going to try and use yellow keys down here, and then we'll try and use novelties across this bottom row, I think. And maybe the enter. Do wish that the good looking part of the Kohaku wasn't hidden when you use it. I mean, that's the problem with keyboards. Like, the biggest piece of real estate for you to do something cool with them is on the base, right? It's you know, if you put a flange on the sides that's that big, it doesn't sell very well. Like we did the whole Argyle with the 2 bits down the side where you could see all the components. Didn't sell very well, you know. Side profile of the Manta is really good. Yeah, I agree. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm putting the number on. I've already done this. What am I doing? I put in another number on. That's not what we want to do, Jay. That is not what we want to do. We want to put the QWERTY row on. Jay, come on, what are you doing? You do need to move on and create new stuff. Doesn't mean you can't do a rerun of the older product. The problem is, like, you know, is the rerun of the old stuff going to detract from the new stuff selling? So that's where you kind of have to wait up. And I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Nostalgia's nice to fall into. Yeah, the Pangea is really nice from the top down. Can't believe I put the wrong keys on. What am I doing? And none of you noticed either. Not a single one of you noticed. And before you now, I'll tell me. Oh, I noticed. I just didn't want to tell you, Jay. Yeah, okay. Believe you. Sniffing glue. Maybe we did and wanted you to struggle. Wow. I see how it is. Hoping for a number only board. Yeah, tell me anything you guys want. Okay, so let's make some good progress now. Numpad XXL, something like that. Okay, let's move on to the next layer, because one, we need the 7U spacebar, so we're going to grab that. This is where I find out I've put the keys in the wrong place as well. I'll be really annoyed. I'm going to go for the red arrows. I'm not sure if there's blue arrows as well, but I kind of want to put some more red on this, so let's do that. That's cool. Okay, let's get the other ISO keys done, and the short shift and caps lock, and then the 1.75U shift, and then I think we're going to go novelties for the rest apart from those. I think those should be, I'm hoping there's yellow keys actually. Maybe we do novelties over there as well. So in terms of, because we have a lot of novelties, do we not have an ISO enter novelty? There is no ISO enter novelty. Okay, that's slightly frustrating. Gonna just have to go for the blue.
Tasty, tasty.
Okay. Tasty. Thank you so much, Piney TF, for the subscription. I appreciate it. Right. Okay. Let's try and figure out some correct row profile shaped novelty. In fact, maybe we just do R1 novelties here, because we've got the Gundamhaku, sorry, the Gundam novelties here. Maybe we just do red, yellow, and blue, and then we put an FN key there in yellow. I think that might be the play. Let's go like that. And then for the bottom row, I think we do something like this. Something like that, and then something like that. There we go. I think that's cool. Okay, I don't know why you got two sets of the novelties then. That seems quite bizarre, but I'm really, really happy with how this has turned out. Mikey, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I'm doing well. I hope you are too. The question is, what colour is the novelty ISO enter? There is no novelty enter. I don't think you can really see the black plate. Like, you really can't see it. I think this is really cool though. Look how these colours came out. So much fun. Novelty escape key. I mean, like, we've got a lot of novelties on here. We've got the novelties down this side here. We've got the Gundam novelties down the side. We've got more novelties there and all across the front row. I think any more would just be a little bit too much, but I do like how it's come out. Looks so good. Thank you very much for 20 months as well, Piney. I appreciate that, dude. Gunpla stream when? I do have some Gunpla to do. If you guys are interested in seeing that, we can absolutely do them on stream. Those novelty keys, different designs on the keys are different colours. We're going to give you two sets of novelties the same though. They're the same keys. So for example, you see we've got this key here. We've got those three keys there. There is also stuff like this for like the backspace and stuff, and like the ANSI enters and stuff, and then we can put different ones on the bottom. There's a ton of different choices, to be honest. I mean, that's such a cool key. No, they're all the same. It's two lots of the same, because the other part of this is the same number that we've already got on the board here. That is the same number. So yeah, I don't know why we've got all of them. Perhaps just one of those things. Perhaps you could just buy novelties, or you could buy the base set and novelties together. I don't know. And I just ordered the base set of novelties and another set of novelties. I suspect that's what it was. But I'm super happy with this, how it's come out. If anyone's coming to Keyboards and Coffee this week, you'll get to have a go on the keyboard. But super cool. And look at that bass. It's quite possibly one of the coolest keyboards I've had. This is Borders Run, yeah. No, this happened a while back. Let's see how it sounds. I do like these switches. They sound so nice. Yeah, they are very clacky. It's super, super nice though. Like, I do like a clacky build. I think the reason that it's really clacky is because we're using a CF plate in part. So we're using a CF plate, and then, you know, with GMK keycaps, so ABS keycaps are always going to have a bit more clack to them as well, I think. Yeah, super nice switches though. If you guys haven't tried them, they're good. This will be on my desk for a little bit. Yeah, it'll be downstairs with the rest of our display keyboards for keyboards and coffee on Thursday. So if anyone's coming along on Thursday, you will be able to try it out. But yeah, it'll be on my desk for a little bit, I think. Super, super happy with how that's come out. Such a pretty keyboard. I am really, really tempted to infill the strike logo here and just have like alternating like blue, red, yellow, something like that. Gundam, more like goddamn. Thanks, man. Yeah, we try. I try almost every new switch that comes out, but we only stock switches that I'm comfortable selling in Simple Chrome. And if it's not a switch that I would put in a personal board, it doesn't make it onto the website. Super, super happy with this. I do love the novelties as well. Look how cute these are. Look how cool they are. Man, I'm super stoked about this. Super, super stoked. Yeah, it's really cool. I do like a white keyboard as well. There's just something about a white keyboard, and I mean, even when I put it on a stand, just for that view, it's going to look cool. Super, super cool. I'm a very lucky boy to have this. Okay, right. Well, I think that's it for the stream then, because we've now finished building the keyboard. I'm super stoked about it. It sounds fantastic. It looks fantastic. I'm really, really happy with the choice of novelties on this and the actual key set as well. I think it looks great. I do wish, actually, one thing I do wish is I wish they'd used the slightly thinner fonts for the sub-legends, because there is a version with the standard cherry fonts, which are slightly thinner. If you look at compared to a normal keyboard, you can see here if I zoom in that the L, for example, the L on here is thicker than the L there, and that's because there's two sets of these molds at GMK, one with a slightly thicker alpha character and the same thickness Hiragana Legend, and then there's also another set of molds that has the standard size cherry main legend, and so they're a bit thinner, not quite as bold a legend, and it's the same for the rest of them as well. Although I think these might be new molds, actually. These might be new. Yeah, still super, super happy with it. This is a carbon fiber plate baby soda with Wook Studios big lucky switches. Absolute banger, yeah. Right, okay, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you are coming to Keyboards and Coffee on Thursday, you'll see this, or if you're coming to the PT SPC day in a couple of weeks' time, I think there's a channel for that in the Discord server for everyone who's coming along, so thank you very much for it. I'm going to go home and get some sleep, because I've got to be back here at 8 o'clock in the morning to start packing your orders from over the weekend. And I hope you've made lots of orders whilst we've been streaming as well. So take care, have a really good rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you on stream on Thursday this week. I will also see you on Instagram and everywhere else during the rest of the week as well. Take care, have fun. I'll see you again soon. Take care, bye. Where's the button? It's there.